Hey everybody, welcome. Today I thought I would just demonstrate a program I wrote that kind of plays Tash-Kalar. Tash-Kalar is an abstract game designed by the great Vlaada Chvátil, which is all about summoning great creatures against an opponent and excuse me, and trying to manipulate your pieces to get special abilities and upgrade those pieces in certain ways to beat your opponent. And there are two ways to play Tash-Kalar. There's the high form, in which case you're trying to score goals that are out, versus the what's the other one called? Combat or it's not low form, it's high form or combat, I can't remember, something where you're just basically out to defeat your opponent and score points. I started out by programming Tash-Kalar just so I can sort of see if I liked the game. And then I decided I liked it, so I bought into the game and bought all three. I bought the base game plus, which provides these four classes, these four factions, and then the Everfrost edition, which provides this fifth class, and then finally the Nether Void expansion, which provides that class. These were randomly chosen, so I'm just going to go with whatever was randomly chosen here. But I'm going to play solo against because once I programmed this game, I then kind of programmed it so that I gave the computer some sort of basic logic. I mean, because the computer can certainly match patterns and try to do the best it can in that realm, but I didn't go so far as to have it say, well, what if I got match this pattern to get this special ability? Wouldn't that get me more points? I wasn't going to spend the time to do that, but I thought I'd just demonstrate basically how this program works, and it does provide some provide me with some enjoyment, especially when I don't have another human player. This is really a two-player game that's meant to be played between you and another human opponent. But it does allow me to do some sort of basic training, and I'm not that great at this game yet. I'm still fairly new at it. But I thought I would demonstrate today how my program works, just because it's a curiosity. And what I do is I program my games. If you've seen my other reviews, and you know that I like to program games. I don't make them available. Please don't ask to get a copy of this. But anyway, you'll see how Tash-Kalar works. I won't go into a complete description of how the game functions, especially I won't be talking about the high form and meeting these certain goals. But at the very least, I will demonstrate how the combat version of the game works. So in any event, there are two sides to the player board, and this is the side you use when you're playing the combat game. And you start with each team has three types of pieces. Level 1, or common pieces as they're called, which are reflected like this. So these are this is my color. I'm at the top here. I'm this tan color. I was the Highland clan. I'm going against a computer who is playing the Sylvan clan, green pieces, and he's put his common piece there. A player is chosen at random to go first. It looks like it's my turn, so I got chosen to be the starting player. And I get dealt 6 cards, actually. 3 from my deck of the Highland deck, because every faction has its own deck of 15 cards. Or 18 cards, rather. 18 cards. And I've been dealt 3 so far, so I have 15 cards in my deck remaining. Then I get 2 cards from the legendary deck. The legendary deck those are legendary creatures which are much harder to summon, as you'll soon see. And then I get a flare card, and then the computer also gets 3 cards from his basic deck, 2 cards from the legendary deck, and 1 flare card. Flare cards are used to balance the game in case one player gets very far ahead of the other. You can use a flare. It keeps a player from just totally decimating another player, and you can use it allows that player who's behind to use a flare card to try to improve his chances. So it's there for game balancing purposes, but it's just a nice come from behind feature as well. So my cards are over here. So these are my 3 that I got dealt to me from my common deck. These are the 2 legendary creatures, which I'm not even going to look at because I'm just not going to be able to use these just yet. And this is my flare card. So all I care about right now are these 3 cards. Now, because I'm the first player, I only get to place, normally you get 2 actions, which is placing a common piece on the board or summoning a creature. But when you're the starting player, on the first turn of the game, you only get to place a common piece. And I'm not going to be able to summon a character because all these summonings, as you can see, require me to have at least 2 common pieces on the board. I only have 1 on the board right now. So the best I can do right now is place a piece on the board. But I do want to place that piece in such a way that I can take advantage of it later when I summon a creature. So that means, now these patterns, as you can see, and these patterns are flippable and mirrorable, and rotatable. So I can, for example, if I wanted to summon the Clan Axeman, and I would need 2 common pieces that are diagonally opposite each other with a space in between. That means I could have another common piece here, or here, or here, or here. And that would allow me to destroy a non-legendary piece on an orthogonally adjacent square. So basically it would allow me to destroy an opponent piece that was in one of these 4 spaces. Now this is a common card, meaning that when I summon the Clan Axeman, he will come out as a common piece on my board. The Ritual Keeper wants me to have 2 diagonally adjacent common pieces, and he gets summoned in between them, as you can see. But I can summon them here, or I could potentially summon them here. But as I said, all these cards are rotatable and flippable. And that says if the Ritual Keeper was summoned on a green square, you can see there are some green squares here, but I couldn't possibly summon him right now onto a green square. But if he was summoned on a green square, I would be able to upgrade one of my common pieces from a level 1 to an upgraded or a heroic piece. There are 3 levels: common, which is level 1, heroic, which is level 2, and then legendary, which is level 3. My last card is the Hill Giant, which needs 4 pieces oriented as such, and it allows me to destroy all non-legendary pieces in orthogonally adjacent squares. And I want to get in a position where I'm going to be able to do some damage to my opponent here. The Ritual Keeper was summoned on a green square, upgrade on a red square. I'm not going to be able to summon them on any colored square. I think I'm going to place diagonally adjacent, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it for Ritual Keeper or Hill Giant, because even if I place diagonally adjacent, I can still place 2 more pieces and wait to summon the Hill Giant. But that means if I want to summon forward toward my opponent, I would have to put the 3 pieces behind me. See, if I position this Hill Giant, the Hill Giant gets summoned here. So I would want to rotate this so that it looks like this, so that my 3 pieces go back. would want to orient it this way so that my other three pieces are. Does my program give me the ability to lock this card? I think it. No, I don't have that. I don't think I programmed that. I wish I did, but I think for now I'm just going to put a common piece diagonally adjacent to here, with hopes of possibly summoning the hill giant here. But let's see what happens. I'm just going to place a common piece. I can only take one action on my first turn. Now it's the computer's turn. He's thinking. He gets two actions, either placing common pieces or summoning. He places, and now he's summoning the Kiskin Farseers. And he is summoning them there. As you can see, he took the Kiskin Farseers, he rotated it, and he got these two pieces oriented such that he could summon the Kiskin Farseers here. So he figured out that it's easy enough for him to figure out that, okay, that was certainly an easy pattern for me to match up. But he didn't interpret necessarily. To some degree he did, but the logic is not that great. But I am going to resolve the card for him, for his purposes, even though he hasn't resolved it. So it says, you may place one common piece of your color on an empty square adjacent to one of your pieces. He can put a piece anywhere here. I am going to... I don't know what his cards are, of course, so I'm not going to necessarily put a piece in where he would want to necessarily have a piece. That's one of the disadvantages of playing this way, but I'm going to put one of his level 1 pieces, I guess on this red square, just because it's forward, so it gives him more of an opportunity to attack me, but not so forward that he might lose it due to an attack. So that's going to give him, that allows him to resolve Kiskin Farseers, placing a common piece of his color on an empty square adjacent to one of his pieces. So that's where I decided to resolve that card for his purposes. And now it's my turn, because he placed a common piece and he summoned. That was his two actions. Now I get two actions. Now the question is, do I want to, if I summon the Ritual Keeper into this space, and I really wish I had programmed this ability to lock this into position for demonstration purposes. If the ritual, so I'm not going to be able to get a benefit from the Ritual Keeper. But if I summon the Hill Giant on a subsequent turn, I can just destroy all non-legendary pieces on orthogonally adjacent squares. That would, if I placed common pieces here, I would summon the Hill Giant here, as you recall. Let me demonstrate that again. If I rotate my Hill Giant this way, I could potentially summon him here, and he is a heroic piece. So he gets summoned as a level 2 piece, and he destroys all non-legendary pieces on orthogonally adjacent squares. So he gets summoned here, and he would get summoned here, and he would destroy this piece, but he would also destroy this piece. There's no piece there, there's no piece there. He would destroy one of mine right now on one of the computers. But I think that's the best bet I have here. This Clan Axeman, well, you may destroy one non-legendary piece on an orthogonally adjacent square. I could destroy one of the computer's pieces that way. But it would force me to place a piece here, which is probably going to get destroyed by the computer sooner rather than later. I think for now I'm going to play defensively. I'm going to just put two common pieces down in hopes of getting the Hill Giant. He's playing the card Charging Buck, which is in this orientation. So these are the pieces he used to summon the Charging Buck here. And the Charging Buck may do up to 2 combat leaps, each of distance exactly 2. So a combat leap is when the Charging Buck is basically this piece under the red dot. So he may do 2 combat leaps, meaning he can jump 2 spaces, each of distance exactly 2. And when you're doing a combat move or a leap, you destroy any piece that you're moving into that's equal or less than the strength of the piece you're moving. So the computer's now going to be able to destroy 2 of my pieces, but it will also probably mean his piece will eventually get destroyed as well. But he can make a charge. I'm going to allow him to do a combat leap to here, because that's 2 spaces away. You don't count you count diagonal adjacent spaces, so that's 2 spaces. He destroys 1 of my pieces. That's worth a half a point to him. Destroying a common piece is worth a half a point. Destroying heroic pieces is worth 1 point. Destroying legendary pieces is worth 2 points. And you always round down. So right now he's not getting any points. He would have to destroy another 1 of my common pieces to get a point out of this. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. So he's going to have to move his charging buck again 2 spaces, do another combat leap. So he's going to move over to here to destroy this piece that's 2 spaces away. And now he's going to get 1 point. But he's probably going to lose this common piece because it's deep into my side of the board here. However, he's ruined now my opportunity of summoning the clan leader. So he doesn't know that, but it turned out to be a good move on his part. So that's going to get him a point. So now the score is... he got another action. That was his first action. He summoned another creature for his second action, the Tree Shepherd. Here's the pattern here. And he summons the Tree Shepherd here. It's a heroic piece. Its special ability says choose 1 of your pieces. If it's common, upgrade it. If it's heroic, it may do 1 combat move. If it's legendary, well, it's not, so I'm not even going to bother. So it may do 1. If it's heroic, upgrade it. If it's heroic, choose 1 of your pieces. If it's common, upgrade it. If it's heroic, it may do a combat move. Well, a combat move for this piece isn't going to destroy anything. So I think he's probably better off choosing 1 of these pieces to upgrade. And for all intents, I'm just going to say I'm going to allow him to turn that into a heroic level 2 piece using the Tree Shepherd special ability. And I've got a message here that the top half of my flare card can now be invoked. So that's a possibility when I come into my turn. I'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, that ends the computer's turn. He summoned the charging buck, destroying 2 of my pieces for a point. And he summoned the Tree Shepherd and upgraded a common piece into heroic pieces. So he's now 2 heroic pieces ahead of me. And now it's my turn. Now, what does this message mean? The top half of my flare card. Well, if you look at my hand of cards, my flare card says, oops, didn't mean to do that. Well, yeah, I probably did. The flare card says that if your opponent has 2 more upgraded pieces than you do, you may do this ability. But if you do, you're going to give your opponent, because anytime you use a flare card, your opponent gets a point. So it may not be in my best interest. Now, I could possibly use either the top half or bottom half or both halves, but I have not met the bottom half criteria, which means that my opponent has to have 5 more pieces than I do. He's got 5, I've got 3. He's got 6, I've got 2. So I don't meet this criteria, but I do meet this criteria because he has 2 heroic pieces. He has 2 heroic pieces, I don't have any. But do I want to give him a point to get that a special ability, which is you may do 1 standard leap with 1 of your common pieces. Well, it would allow me to destroy this and get back into the diagonal position to summon my my clan axeman, or my ritual keeper rather. So I am going to go ahead and use the flare. Did I select it yet? I don't think I did. Okay, so I'm using the flare card. I am going to standard leap with 1 of the... Oh, a standard leap does not allow. That allows me to move a piece any number of spaces, but it can only defeat a piece that's lower in value. So maybe I shouldn't have invoked this flare card yet, because I don't think that's going to be of much use to me just yet. Though it would allow me to move. What are my cards again? I can summon the Clan X-Men. Okay, I think I will do that. I will use this piece. I don't want to be too aggressive with only common pieces. So I'm going to do a standard leap from this piece over to here. And that basically used my flare card and it gave my opponent a point. So now I'm down 2-zip. But now I still have my 2 actions. Maybe that didn't work out the way I anticipated it would. I should have leaped him here, I think. Yeah, you know what? Let me take that back. Well, let me just move him where I want him. I probably wanted to have him there. So that's fine. So now that's what I would have done. Because now I'll summon the Ritual Keeper, and the Ritual Keeper can be summoned onto this space as long as it's equal or less of a level. And it is equal. It's a common piece going onto a common piece. So I'll effectively destroy his piece by summoning the Ritual Keeper. So let's go ahead and summon him. And now I could potentially summon, because my computer does allow me to summon them in any of the possible spaces, and these are the 2 possible spaces I can summon them to. Obviously, I want to summon him here so I can destroy that piece of my opponent, so that's where I'm going to summon him. That gets me a half a point because I destroyed 1 common piece of my opponent. And now the Ritual Keeper says, well, if the Ritual Keeper was summoned onto a red square, you may do a combat move with 1 of your pieces. Well, a combat move is onto an adjacent space. It's not going to help me, but it might get me into a position. I think I'm going to use that ability to move this guy to do a combat move. Oh, a combat move. A combat move is onto an adjacent space. Sorry. So he can't go from there to there. He could go from there to there. I think I'm going to do that. Possibly thinking about summoning the clan leader later. So I'm going to move him. No, you know what? I take that back. As I said, I'm not that great at this game. I'm going to move this guy to here as part of my ability of using the Ritual Keeper. Okay. Wait a minute. I kind of messed up here by doing that undo. Let me kind of get back to where I was. I screwed up. Okay, here I am. So I'm summoning the Ritual Keeper. I'm summoning him there. I am destroying my opponent's piece for half a point. And now, if the Ritual Keeper was summoned on a red square, you may do a combat move with 1 of your pieces. That means that a move is moving to an adjacent space. Now, I can't destroy it in my opponent pieces, but I can at least move a piece. So I'm going to move this piece to here in preparation for possibly summoning the Hill Giant on a subsequent turn. So that ends that action. But I have 1 action left, and now I'm going to place here in hopes of summoning the hill giant next turn. Yeah, so I'm going to place here. Now it's the computer's turn. He may very well destroy some of these pieces. Looks like he's not going to. The Kiskin Bow Runner he summoned. You can see he had these. I should point out that although this is an abstract game, the orientation of the pieces does sort of match the orientation of the character you're summoning. Maybe not so much with this Kiskin Bow Runner, but I'll demonstrate that more so as we play some more. But in any event, he summoned the Kiskin Bow Runner, which says it may do up to 3 combat moves. Each move must end on a square adjacent to one of your pieces. He's not going to be able to destroy this piece. You can only go to here. You may do up to 3 combat moves. Each move must end on a square adjacent. So I think I'm going to just bring his heroic pieces forward. So I'm going to do that. That's 1 combat move. Oh, the Kiskin Bow Runner has to take that back. Let's come back with that. Oh, I screwed up again. Undo. Undo. Okay, here he is again. He summons the Kiskin Bow Runner. The Kiskin Bow Runner is the one doing the 3 combat moves, and he's got to move to spaces adjacent. So I'm just to bring him forward to here. I don't know if this is good for the computer or not, but I'm at least trying to bring him into a more forward position. I could bring him here, but that's a little risky at this point because he doesn't know what I might summon. So I'm going to just leave him there, and he still has 1 action remaining. And now he's just summoning the Sylvan Queen. So as you can see, the Sylvan Queen, I guess this is her body, these are her arms, and this is her extended arm. maybe these 2 pieces represent her breasts. I don't know. But in any event, sorry about that. But whatever. The art in this game is a little risque, I should say. But I'm not even going to talk about that. That's a speech for a different day. He summons the Sylvan Queen. You may convert 1 non-legendary enemy piece on a diagonally adjacent square to your piece of the same rank. Okay, so unfortunately, you may convert 1 non-legendary enemy pieces. There are no legendary pieces diagonally adjacent. He's not even going to get the ability of the Sylvan Queen because he didn't. Again, the computer matches cards, but doesn't do a great job of taking advantage of special abilities. So that is a limitation of my program. But at least it's demonstrating how this game works. It gives me a pseudo opponent to play against. So right now, the computer's 2 points ahead. And the game ends when you reach 18 points or you exhaust your common deck. The computer's already used up. He's down to 10 cards in his deck. Okay, it's now my turn. The top half of my flare card can be invoked. Let's take a look at what that is, although I'm not sure I want to give my opponent another. So my opponent is 3 heroic pieces ahead of me, 3 or more. Allow me to place 1 common piece of your color on any empty square. I don't think I want to give my opponent a point just for using that flare card, so I'm not going to use that right now. But I am going to summon the Hill Giant, because the Hill Giant is heroic, and he would summon here, and as long as he summons onto a piece that's equal or less in value, he can destroy it. So I'm going to summon him and destroy one of my opponent's heroic pieces at the same time. Okay. So here's my Hill Giant, and now he destroys all non-legendary pieces on orthogonally adjacent squares. That means he destroys this piece of mine, but he also destroys this piece of my opponent's That's only half a point, which I'm not going to be able to score. But at least I am going to be able to score a point for summoning the Hill Giant on one of my opponent's pieces, heroic pieces at that. So that's going to get me a point. So now the score is 2-1, and I have an action still to go. So what can I do here? I don't have my pieces oriented in any way that's going to allow me to summon anything else. Flare card can't be used. Well, wait a minute. Potentially I could place one common piece of... Oh, no, the computer is not 3 heroic pieces ahead of mine. He's got 3, I've got 1. So best I can do right here is place a common piece in a position that do up to 3 combat moves using your pieces. Not necessarily the piece I summoned. If you do all 3, at least one has to be with the Warlord. Okay, so that would... Oh, but I can't summon him. I can only summon him over to here. But 3 combat moves. I could potentially destroy 2 pieces, assuming I don't lose this piece next turn. I'm going to place a common piece here in hopes of summoning the Warlord next turn. As long as I don't lose this piece, who knows what's going to happen. The computer has summoned the Dryad, which got summoned here. On one of the adjacent squares, you may convert 1 non-legendary enemy piece to your common piece. Well, this is a non-legendary piece, and he's adjacent, so he's going to convert that. Oops, sorry. I take that back. Damn it. Sorry, I made a mistake. I haven't used this game in a... let me go back. Come on. Okay, there's the Dryad. He is changing this piece into a common piece of his. He will get a point for that because he's effectively destroying one of my heroic pieces. Oops. I made a mistake. Sorry. This wasn't my heroic piece. It's turning into one of his common pieces. That gets him a point because he destroyed one of my heroic pieces. So the score is going to be 3-1 here. He's got another action to go. So that's his Dryad. Let's see what he does next. He does a Sylvan Princess. So here's the Sylvan Princess's body, and this is her extended leg. You may choose 1 common enemy piece on a diagonally adjacent square, diagonally adjacent to the Sylvan Princess, and convert it to your common piece. So either this piece or this piece is going to get converted to his piece. I think I'm going to make this one his piece. That's another half a point. That's going to get rounded down. And now I get both halves of my flare card. Okay, he's ahead 3-1. I think I will use my flare card now. It's going to allow me to place a common piece of it because my opponent is 3 heroic pieces ahead of me, and he's got 4 or more pieces in total than I do. So I will use the flare card. It allows me to place a common piece of my color on an empty square. He's basically messed up my ability to summon the card I wanted to summon. And you may do a combat move or 2 standard moves using your non-legendary pieces. So I'm going to summon a common piece here. And now for the bottom half, I'm going to do a combat move from here to here. And that will get me a half a point. And now I've used the flare card. So it's gone from my hand. Now I have 2 actions remaining, so I will be able to summon the card I wanted to, which is the Warlord. Oh, but it is not going to work out the way I wanted it to. because I can't do combat moves and destroy this piece. I was going to plan on doing it with my heroic piece. I can't destroy that heroic piece with a common piece. And my other two cards are common cards. Wow. I'm kind of losing here. I think I'll summon the Warlord just for the sake of summoning the Warlord. Well, I could use the Warlord to destroy my own piece. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to place a common piece here as one action, and now I'm going to summon the Warlord as my second action. So he summons here. You can notice the pattern. But now I can do 3 combat moves using my pieces. They have to be adjacent squares. And if I do all 3, at least one has to be with the Warlord. The Warlord is right now is my only heroic piece. So I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to do 1 combat move here, destroying my own piece. That is allowed. But it gave me a half a point, and it shouldn't have. So let me adjust that. Because I destroyed my own piece. I didn't destroy one of my opponents. Now I'm going to do another combat move to here. That will get me a point because I'm destroying one of my opponent's pieces. And now I'm going to go ahead and destroy this piece as well. I'm moving my heroic piece a little forward. It's risky, but it'll get me to 2 points. Let me score 2 points this turn and put me in fighting position. So that ends my turn, and I'm going to get 2 points out of that, so it's going to be 4-3. Computer's turn. Computer summons the Kiskin Spirit. You may choose a card from your discard pile and put it on top of your deck. If you do, or if your discard pile was empty, draw 1 extra card from your deck at the end of this turn. Well, let's take a look at his discard pile. He's got a lot of cards. His discard pile is not empty. So if he was going to bring a card back that he could summon again, which one would it be? I gotta see these cards, so let me get rid of the Kiskin Spirit. So the Kiskin Farseaters, that's a common card. The Charging Buck is common. Probably would want to summon a heroic card like the Tree Shepherd. Tree Shepherd's a possibility. You couldn't summon it now, I don't think. But it's easy enough to summon later. Kiskin Bowrunner, he can't summon now, but he could summon later. I've got to pick a card. I've got to do what I would do in this position. The Sylvan Queen is good too. Who's going to do the most damage? The Sylvan Princess, choose a common enemy piece. Kiskin Spirit, you may choose a card from your. That's the one. Three combat moves. I think the Kiskin Bowrunner is the best one. So I'm going to give him the Kiskin Bowrunner back on top of his desk. On top of his deck. So that's that. Now he has 1 action remaining. He summons the Woodland Druid. Upgrade 1 common piece of each color on the board. So I'm going to have him upgrade this piece of his, and now he gets to upgrade 1 of my pieces. I think he would probably want to summon a piece far away from his pieces, so I'll have him summon that one. I'll upgrade that one. Oops. Upgrade that piece. Okay, that does the resolves the Woodland Druid. It's now my turn. Score is 4-3. Okay. What did I draw up to? I've got a Clan Axeman. I've got a Clan Healer, neither of which I can summon right now. I can't summon any of these cards. And I need to be looking at how I want to arrange my pieces so I could potentially summon these legendary cards. I would need to have heroic pieces in these positions. These are much harder to pull off. And so far my heroic pieces are just not where I need them to be. I think the Wolf Rider may do up to 2 combat moves. Trouble is I can't summon him this turn. Replace up to 2 combat pieces of your color. Each must be placed on an empty square adjacent to a green square. You may destroy 1 non-legendary piece on a rectangly adjacent. I think I'm going to go with the Clan Healer. So I've got 2 actions. And I need to place 1 so that, like this. And I can do, I think I'll place it here. Now I'll summon the Clan Healer into this space. I could summon him over there too, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to summon him there. And now I may place up to 2 common pieces of my color, but each must be placed on an empty square adjacent to a green square. So I'll place 1 here. I should look at my hand. And I'll place 1 over here. He's probably going to destroy some of these on his turn, which is now coming up. He's playing the sapling. Upgrade the sapling after summoning it. So that's simple enough. He upgrades that piece to a heroic. He's got a lot of heroic pieces again. It's his second action. He's summoning the Bone Catapult. You may choose any 1 piece in any of the indicated directions, destroy it, and all common pieces adjacent to it. Okay, that's diagonally away from Bone Catapult, which is here. So it could be this piece, which is diagonally in this diagonal direction, and it would destroy that piece and all common pieces adjacent to it. So we could take out 3 pieces that way. He could either go that, he can also go this way, but that would only destroy 3. So he's going to go ahead and just go this way and destroy this piece, and that piece. That's worth that 1.5 points. Where do you get his other point? Alright, I just got to make sure that this is working the way it's supposed to. Back to 9. Let me restore back to 992. Oops. 992. Okay, Bone Catapult. Oh, the Bone Catapult is a legendary piece. Anytime you summon a legendary piece, you get a point. That's where the other point came from. Okay, that's one of his legendary cards. He's already been able to do it. He was able to do it because he had 3 heroic pieces in a row and one common or better piece opposite. So this is the pattern they use right here. So that's 1 point for summoning that piece, a half a point for destroying this piece, half a point for destroying this piece, half a point for destroying that piece. And that's serious damage. That's 2 points right there, and now the score is going to be 6-3. Okay. Destroy all common enemies. Adjacent squares. There are no common. I'm not going to be able to. The Wolf Rider may do 2 combat moves. None of these are working out the way I would like. The Clan Axeman is only common. Oh man. This stinks. I think the best I can do. I want to summon the Wolf Rider or the Mountain Troll. Wolf Rider needs 3 common pieces, and I could summon the Wolf Rider, but he would summon here. But he can move. He can do 2 combat moves. I'm going to summon the Wolf Rider into that space. He can now do 2 combat moves. Where would I want him to be so I could possibly get in position to do either of these 2 legendary cards? Let's see. Bang, bang. Patterns are not my strong suit. Let's see, if I move him here, I'm looking at the Leviathan. Bang, bang, common, bang. I think that might work. Heroic, heroic, diagonally common. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do up to 2 combat moves. I'm going to move him here. And I'm going to stop right there. And with my next action, I think I can summon the Leviathan. And I'm assuming because it's legendary, it's going to do some serious shit. Oh, it's not letting me do it. So I think I screwed up. Wait a minute. Isn't that the pattern? Heroic, heroic, common, heroic. It's not letting me summon. Oh, shoot, because he would summon back here off the board. Shoot. Oh, darn it. So that probably was not a great move on my part, in retrospect. Maybe I should rethink that now. Like I said, let me go back to 998 and resummon the Wolf Rider. Okay, so Wolf Rider comes back. So now I can do up to 2 combat moves, and I know now that moving here doesn't help me. What if I summon the Mountain Troll? Destroy all common enemy pieces on adjacent. Yeah, he's not going to do any damage. There are no common enemy pieces adjacent. He's got all heroic pieces and a legendary piece. I'm screwed again. Oh, jeez. I if I was going to summon anything, I'd summon the Mountain Troll, which means it doesn't matter where I... Oh, I'm so close to summoning the Leviathan. I'm going to bring him a little bit forward. So that's one common move. I don't want to take a chance on losing him. I'm just going to leave him there for now. Okay. And for my second move, my second action, I might as well summon the Mountain Troll, even though I'm not going to destroy anything with it. You can summon there. That's where I'm going to summon him. There are no common pieces on enemy spaces, but at least it got me a heroic piece on the board. The score is still 6-3. What's the computer going to summon? The Kiskin Bowrunner again. May it do up to 3 combat moves. Each move must end on a square adjacent to one of his pieces. He's clearly going to go here. That destroys one of my pieces. He can't move here. He's got to stay adjacent, and he's not going to make it all the way over to here, so I might as well just leave him there. And for his second action, he is summoning the Titan, another legendary piece. Jesus. I'm getting killed. Destroy all orthogonally adjacent pieces and all non-legendary diagonally adjacent pieces. They do not count as pieces destroyed by you. Destroy all orthogonally adjacent pieces. Well, that means this piece gets destroyed. He doesn't even know he was doing this. And they don't count as pieces destroyed by you. So he's lost that piece, and he's basically did more damage to himself than he did to me. Destroy all orthogonally adjacent, so that would be this piece as well. But it doesn't count as a piece destroyed, so he doesn't get that half point. Doesn't matter, he wouldn't have gotten it anyway. But he's going to get 2 points out of this turn anyhow. He did okay. It's now 8-3. Like I said, I'm not good at this game, and the computer is doing better, even though he doesn't think that well. The werewolf. Oh, I think I'm going to summon the werewolf. Bang bang! It's going to summon right here. It's going to destroy one of his pieces. And if it's summoned on a non-central red or sweep... Oh, yes, okay, it's werewolf. Summons right there, destroying one of his pieces. If it was summoned on a non-central red or green square, that is a central red or green square. Otherwise, it can do one standard move. One standard move isn't going to do anything other than possibly get me in position. So let's see. I think I want to retreat him back to here. That's my standard move. We do up to 3 standard moves. Trying to sort of match one of these patterns here. Oh, okay. If I moved him as a standard move from there to there, so from here to here is a standard move, that's 1. And now if I do that, it'd be 2. I'm trying to match up the Leviathan again. Okay, now if I move him here, I think I might do better, but I think I might be able to get the Leviathan now. I think. Let's see. I hope I didn't screw that up. Okay, so now, can I summon Leviathan? Let's see. Flip. I've got it. Peace. Yeah, I can summon. Yeah, I can summon Leviathan. He would summon all the way back here. I'm not sure if it's going to get me any benefit. Choose one. Either downgrade a connected group of up to 3 upgraded pieces, or destroy a connected group of up to 4 common pieces. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think that's going to work out. So that's going to get me a legendary piece on the board finally. Choose one. Either downgrade a connected group of up to 3 upgraded pieces, or destroy a connected group of up to 4 common pieces. Okay, well, a connected group of 3 upgraded pieces. I don't think that counts as legendary. That would be this piece I can destroy. I can destroy these 3. This is a connected group of 3. Downgrade. Oh, it's downgrade a connected group of up to 3, or destroy a connected group of up to 4 common. He doesn't have 4 common. So I can downgrade this to a common. I can downgrade this to a common. It's not giving me points, but I think I get points for downgrades. Isn't that 1.5 points? My program's not always that smart. Downgrades. I think downgrades I do get points for. Trying to open the rules here. Open rules for. What game is this? Tash-Kalar. Downgrade. And keeping how many pieces you destroyed. Count pieces you destroyed. Pieces you moved, pieces you destroyed, pieces you converted. Neither upgrading or downgrading counts. Okay, so my program, I don't get points for downgrading, but at least I got rid of 3 of his heroic pieces and turned them into commons. That did some serious damage. I also got 2 points. Not a bad turn for me. It's 8-5. He summons the Forest Wardens. Destroy 1 common piece of an opponent with more common pieces than you. Okay, he's got 5 common pieces. I only have 2, so he can't destroy any of mine. Destroy 1 heroic piece of an opponent with more upgraded pieces than you. I guess an upgraded piece counts as legendary. Legendary is considered an upgraded piece. Maybe I should have destroyed his legendary piece last turn. I'm going to go back to 20 and correct that. Okay, so I'm summoning the Leviathan again. Downgrade connected group of up to 3 upgraded pieces. So I'm going to downgrade this piece to common, this piece to common, and this piece to heroic, instead of this piece to common. I don't get points either way, but at least I got one of his legendary pieces off the board for what it's worth. Okay, so now he summons the Forest Warden. Destroy a common piece of an opponent with more common pieces. I don't have more common pieces than him. And I do have more upgraded pieces than him. So destroy 1 heroic piece of an opponent with more upgraded pieces than you. I have 5, he has 4. So which one of these would he want to destroy? I'll have him destroy this one. It's going to be worth a point. And he's got an action remaining. He summons the Forest Mystic. At the end of this turn, draw an extra card from your deck and an extra card from the legendary deck. Okay, that's easy enough. So let me end the turn and draw an extra personal card for him and an extra legendary card for him. And the game is nearing an end because he only has 2 cards left in his common deck. Remember, the game ends when somebody's deck gets exhausted. I need to do something serious here if I'm going to make a comeback. It's 9-5. Can I summon? Darn it. Can't summon any of my legendaries. They're not in the right position. I guess I want to summon the War Summoner. Gain it. Can I summon him? Gain an action. Okay, I would have to place a common piece here to summon him, right? I can't summon him now. Let's see. 2 pieces, and then, yeah, so if I rotated it this way, flipped it. Oh, really pain in the neck. I could summon the War Summoner. I know I can. Can I? Oh no, I have to place a common piece first. So he's basically like a Y shape. So piece, I could summon a common piece here and summon them. Or here and summon them. Which would be better? Gain an action. For the pattern of the next being you may summon this turn, you may use an enemy piece as though it was yours. So would I rather, and where does he summon? He summons in between. So he would summon either here or here. I want him summoning here. So I'm going to put a common piece here, summon the War Summoner right there. Probably miscalculated. Gain an action. So I get another action. For the pattern on the next being you can summon this turn, I can use opponent pieces on my next pattern. Okay. Can I summon? Can't summon the Fire Elemental. I don't have pieces arranged that way. Can I summon the Fire Dragon? Using my opponent's pieces? I'd have to have 3 heroic pieces. Shoot, if he had a heroic piece here, I could have done it. But as it stands, I can't summon the Fire Dragon. No. And I certainly can't summon the Fire Elemental. Shoot. Best I can do is summon a common piece. Direwolf. They do up to 2 combat moves. Okay, I'm going to summon the Direwolf. I didn't think I could summon them there, but really? Can I summon them there? Oh, because I can use my opponent's pieces. Right, so I can summon the Direwolf as if I was using my opponent's pieces, which are these pieces right here. Let me make sure I'm interpreting that correctly. What did I just summon? The wolf? What did I just summon? The Ritual Keeper? Shoot. Summon the War Summoner. I have to summon this card. I'd really like to look at that description again to make sure I didn't make a mistake. For the pattern of the next being you summon, you may use 1 enemy piece as though it was yours. And my program only considers all enemy pieces. So, wait a second. I can't summon the Direwolf this way. These are all the ways I can summon them. But I could summon them this way. Yeah, that works. Okay, I'm not even using my opponent's pieces. I'm using 2 pieces of my opponent there. This is my best bet. I'm not using any of my opponent's pieces. I'm using these 3 pieces right here. I'm summoning here. That's what I'm going to do. And then I can do 2 combat moves. I can destroy 2 of his common pieces. So I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go here. It's only getting me a point. So it's now 9-6. He summons another legendary piece. Storm Elemental. You may place 1 piece of your color on an empty square up to distance 3. With it, do up to 1 if legendary, 3 if heroic. With it, in 1 direction. You may place 1 piece of your color on an empty square up to distance 3. Why wouldn't I want to? What kind of piece can I place? Any one I want? You may place 1 piece of your color, meaning any kind of piece. With it, do up to 1 if legendary. Oh, I see. If I place the best piece, I can do 1 combat move. If I place a heroic piece, I can do 3 combat moves. Okay, got it. You may place 1 piece of your color on an empty square up to distance 3. Well, where's he going to do the most damage? 1, 2, right in here. You can destroy 1 of my legendary pieces, or you can do 3. You can destroy much more, do much more. He's going to do heroic. And now he's going to do 3 combat moves in 1 direction. 1, 2, and up to 3. The third one would have to be here. It doesn't do anything, but he's already done enough damage. He's got 3 points already. He's got another action remaining. He summons a unicorn. Choose 1. Either the unicorn may do a combat move, or you gain an action. Combat move would destroy a common piece. I think I'm going to give him another action. That's what I would have done. So he gets another action. He summons another legendary creature, the Earth Elemental. Oh, man. Destroy a non-legendary piece on adjacent, on or adjacent to a red square. Destroy a non-legendary piece on or adjacent to a red square. Then, okay. That would be like here. On or adjacent to a red square, a non-legendary piece. So this gets destroyed. That's a point again. He's gotten 5 points this round so far. Then upgrade a common piece on or adjacent to a green square. You obviously want to upgrade one of his. He doesn't have any common pieces. And it doesn't say you may, so he has to do it. So he has to upgrade this piece. It's on or adjacent. Then the Earth Elemental may do 1 combat move to an adjacent red or green square. Well, there is no combat move adjacent to. He's back here, so he may do it. He can't do it, but he's gotten 5 points this turn. It's now 14-6. I'm getting whipped. Top half of my flare card can be invoked. I don't want to give my opponent another piece. Place 1 heroic piece of your color on an empty square. Can I do that and do some serious damage? Well, I might be able to summon destroy all non-legendary pieces up to distance 2 in that direction. I could summon the fire. Still can't get this fire elemental. But then I'm giving him a point just so I can get 1 point. It's not worth it. Alright, I'm not going to do my flair card. Then again, oh, what the heck. Alright, I'm going to do the flair card. Top half. Place one heroic piece of your color on an empty square. I would want to put it here, I think. Yeah. Okay. That's my flair card. Now I can summon the fire dragon. Right? Oh, no. I got to place a common piece here. Then I can summon the fire dragon. Okay. And now choose one of the indicated directions. Destroy all non-legendary pieces up to distance 2. It's him, but basically the fire dragon blowing his fire out his. So destroy. It would be this direction, I guess. Destroy all non-legendary pieces up to distance 2 in that direction. I can't destroy that. That's legendary. I could destroy this. I think I'm going to destroy that. Best I can do. I got 2 points. It's 15 to 8. He summons the Forest Ancient. Place 2 enemy common pieces on empty squares up to distance 2. Then destroy 2 common pieces of the same color up to distance 3. Place 2 enemy common pieces on empty squares. So place 1 there, say, and place 1 there. Whoops, wrong color. And now destroy 2 common pieces of the same color up to distance 3. So I could destroy, I don't know what the point of this is. He's got an action remaining, so he's got a better chance of destroying near pieces than far pieces. Okay. Last action, what's he going to do? He's thinking. He's thinking. He just placed a common piece. He couldn't summon. His deck still has a card. The game's not over yet. I've got a 2-headed dragon. I'm not going to be able to summon it. And I'm not. One combat move or 2 standard moves using your pieces other than the Ward Drummer. Ooh, I can do some serious damage. Yeah, okay, I'm going to put a common piece here, summon the War Drummer right there, and now do either 1 combat move or up to 2 standard moves using your pieces other than the War Drummer. 1 combat move or 2 standard moves. I can destroy one of his legendary pieces with a combat move using this piece right here. That's what I'm going to do. I think that's worth 2 points for me. Yep. Okay, that's 2 points. That's getting 2 points around is just not enough, though. And I'm not even thinking ahead in terms of trying to, because what you want to do is do moves that would help you with your future summonings. Not doing that. The Eldest Tree, he summons another legendary creature. Choose up to 3 of the adjacent squares on each. If it has your common piece upgraded, Choose up to 3 of the adjacent squares. Okay, well there's one of his common pieces. Upgrade it. If it is empty, if it has an enemy piece, destroy it. Okay, so if it has an enemy non-legendary piece, that's legendary. So all he can do is upgrade one of his pieces. Oh wait, well here's one that's empty. If it's empty, place a common piece. Okay. Oh, and you could possibly do it here too. You could put another common piece there. Alright, so that's 3 adjacent spaces. He upgraded and placed 2 common pieces. And his turn is over. He only got 1 point, but it's now 17 to 10. The top half of my flare card. What does that do? You may do up to 3 standard moves using your common pieces. That does nothing for me, I think. Unless I can, again, get into position for a... Shoot, I don't have the arrangement necessary for the fire elemental. I need two diagonally adjacent level 2 or better pieces. I don't have that. Two-headed dragon. And I don't have... Can't do it. I could do the two-headed dragon if I could upgrade... No, I can't. Oh man, I'm getting just destroyed. The Hungry Bear may do up to 2 standard moves. Well, I could destroy that piece. That's a point. I don't know. Let's summon the Hungry Bear. Oh, yeah. The Hungry Bear may do it. That's good. I can destroy a piece there. I didn't even see that. That's kind of unfair. The computer kind of helped me out. Okay, so the Hungry Bear. So I'll go ahead and summon him there. And the Hungry Bear may do up to 2 standard moves. If it moves onto an empty... Now, when he's doing a standard move, he can only destroy pieces that are common. He's not going to be able to. And if it moves onto an empty space, it stops moving. Although if I move it here, do I have a better chance of... Because I want diagonally adjacent. Should I move him and destroy my own piece? Still couldn't do the fire elemental. That fire elemental is like worthless to me. I'm just going to leave it where it is. Alright, now what? It's some of the blood shaman. Something goes on a red square destroy. Destroy 1 non-legendary piece. Goes on a red square destroy all common pieces. Alright, blood shaman it is. Now destroy 1 non-legendary piece. I will destroy, let's say this, because he doesn't have any on red squares. So I'll just destroy this piece. So that's 2 points. 17 to 12. I think the game's now going to end. he summons a Hellbolt right on top of his own legendary piece. The Hellbolt may do any number of combat moves in any direction. If it destroys a legendary piece, it stops. That's what it's going to do. It's going to go that way and destroy that legendary piece for 2 points. But it has to stop. And he still has an action remaining. What's he going to summon? He summons a Naiad. Oh, crappy common piece. You may choose up to 2 of your pieces adjacent to the Naiad and do 1 standard move with each. Can't destroy any of my pieces using... Oh, 1 standard move with each. Standard move can't destroy a piece at the same level. You just choose up to 2 of your pieces adjacent to the Naiad. You'd have to choose these 2. I think he's just going to pass. He's way ahead anyway. It's now 20 to 12. The game will end upon the completion of Alex's next turn. I can't get 8 points here. This is just painful. Painful. I can't summon a legendary piece. I don't. Ritual Master. I don't think I can even summon that. I don't think I can. I don't see a way I can summon the Ritual Master. Oh, I can? Oh, it's right there. I'm not even seeing it. It's not going to help me. If the Ritual Master was summoned on a green square, it wasn't. If on a red square... summoned a piece, but... Oh! No, it's not going to help me with the dragon. I got 1 action remaining, but I got 3 diagonally heroic pieces, but not enough to... It's not... I don't have this part to summon the dragon. Can I summon the Fire Elemental? That card has been my bane. I don't have the arrangement of pieces. And my other summonings are like common crap. I'll do the Wild Eagle. Because it can do a combat leap to any square on the board. Whoop-de-doo. The game's over. I gotta get another half a point out of that. Oh, man. Yeah, I know. He destroys 1 of my pieces, summons the Spearman, may do a combat move. If he does, destroy the next piece in the same direction unless it's legendary. Combat move, destroys that piece, and then destroy the piece in the same direction. He destroys that piece. 3 points in, 1 action left. He doesn't have to interpret his cards. He still destroys me. Up to 2 times, you may choose a diagonal direction and destroy the first piece in that direction. Yeah, he doesn't want to destroy any of his pieces. So he's just going to stick with his 3 points. The game is over. I got destroyed 23 to 12. But that's how... This is for an abstract game, and I don't usually like abstract games. I like this game, but I think my take here is it might be easier to play with the actual game pieces in front of me instead of doing it on the computer, because I can't always see the patterns. Having the cards in front of me, I should play with the computer and the cards. That may be a good combination. Anyway, you saw how the game worked, so now you know whether it might be a game you like. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Bye for now.